Hi everyone. Today we're going to be talking about Companion. This film was directed by Drew Hancock. I know I'm a bit late on this one because it came out in January, but I was able to catch it pretty recently. Somehow I managed to avoid all of the trailers for it. After I went to go see this movie, I came out and kind of looked up a little bit about it, and everyone was complaining about the trailer reveals so much. Like, it gives away the big twist, but somehow I was able to avoid all that, so I went in pretty blind. And I gotta say, this is Drew Hancock's directorial debut, and for a debut film, it's quite confident. It's confident in its style, it's confident in its ideas, in its story, in its concept, in its tone as well, which is quite impressive, I must say. You know, it's a breakup story told in this sort of digital AI age. And, you know, we're sort of using this AI tech backdrop to explore themes of abuse cycles and neglect and sort of self-importance when it comes to interpersonal relationships, and also just how volatile we can be as human beings. And I'll say one of the best things about this film is the cast, and specifically Sophie Thatcher. Sophie Thatcher is marvelous in this thing. She's got the same kind of look in her eye that like a Mia Goth does. That sort of like 70s, like Sissy Spacek sort of movie star quality. And you know, she has this like sort of, again, it's like this innocence to her, but she has such a commanding presence that her charisma shines through. And Jack Quaid, you know, he does his thing. He has a very punchable face throughout this whole thing, and his character is very punchable as well. Very intentionally so. The cast is great, the setting, the look of the film, it's got this sort of tinge of artificiality that I think is really fitting for the story. Again, very confident in its sort of visual language, in its script, in its performances, and that's very admirable. And it is exploring a lot of themes here, you know, a lot of things about the human condition. Again, how sort of volatile we can be, and also just how we can neglect our partners and abuse the people that we are supposed to care the most about. And sometimes maybe I feel like it's biting off more than it can chew in a sense, just because it is a 90-minute sort of thriller. And there's a lot of humor peppered into this story, but ultimately maybe that sort of humor kind of holds it back from really delving into the darkness that I think it really wanted to. It was starting to ask some really burning questions about Jack Quaid's, his character's, I forget his name, but Jack Quaid's character. It's asking a lot of questions about just his nature and like where his volatility comes from. And we never really get to know any more about that because the film just kind of ends. Felt like perhaps a bit of a rushed ending. And again, I think some of the humor just fell a little flat for me. But overall, it's a great film. And I've said for a while now that thrillers have felt a little empty. We just had Baby Girl come out last month, and I felt just that was really falling on its face, falling on the face of its concept, and just not really delivering anything that thought-provoking. Whereas this has a lot to chew on, and even if it doesn't always quite stick the landing, I think that there's something really promising here. So I would definitely recommend it. Go check it out. You want to escape in a movie theater for about 90 minutes, like, this is perfect. But I think I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.